Fidelity Fortune Hunters, Tom Wilmot speaking. Usually I'm flapping my gums about the Forex market and Metatrader, and we have our website, fxfortunehunter.com, with lots of good indicators and templates that will help power up your Forex trading. But every once in a while we take a quick peek at Fidelity's platform, Active Trader Pro, and that's the purpose of this video. We've done some work in the past on moving averages, and I've showed you about multiple moving averages in other videos. But today we're going to tinker with this fast running template that we've been creating. It's kind of a copycat of things we do in the Forex market, and I want to show you it's just great for equities and options as well. So hold on to your hat. We'll get started right after this. Okay, friends, when we last left you, we had given a few tips about how to use the basics in the platform, and we'll review those as well as adding some bells and whistles to one of the things I call a template. It's called a template in Metatrader for Forex, so we can assume that that's what we're talking about here as we save a chart format for future use or for switching to another equity symbol. So in any event, what we have right here are our multiple moving averages. We use them as the basis for all of our work. And in this particular case, we have here the indicators, the three indicators that are showing on the screen are for EMA 12, 24, 28, and a 50. And what I'm going to do first is to show you can get rid of the 50. That's the red one that's down here. You can either modify or delete it. Let's delete it and just get it off the wall. So now we're down to our 3. You can notice that there are a number of other kinds of things you can add to your chart. You can add events like earnings, and you can see right here, this was when Facebook announced its earnings back in the July-August time frame in 2019. We had a pullback in the summer, and then that pullback in October, and then we moved higher, especially into the fourth quarter in the December time period. So for a trained eye, you can see that what I like to do in any event is to see about the separation of our moving averages, and you can see these are clearly stacked now to the upside, so that we have the short-term scalping audience, the 12s are buying, the medium-term investors and also the longer-term investors are taking their positions here, and you can see that's what's reflected in our multiple moving averages. So when you have this kind of an uplift in the moving averages, it's very hard for the sellers to come down and break the trend. Now, we were able to do that here after the earnings report. We had a rapid fall off, and you can see here in this area, we ended up with this. We came back and retested a low. The same thing was here true, and so forth. Now, this particular pattern of a crossover and then a pullback is one that you can really kind of bet the mortgage on. This is the kind of situation where you have the lowest level of risk and the potential for a good reward, because what we have is an opportunity to say, okay, I'd like to put my stop loss in this area here. Notice that down just below the 38 EMA is probably a great place for the stop loss to go, or to be watching for it. And if you're not in the trade yet, this kind of a reversal at these levels suggests a really excellent chance for an opportunity to enter. Now, let's get on with a couple of other indicators as long as we're about it. As many of you watch my other videos know that we have used also the relative strength index a number of times. Now when it comes up on the chart, it looks something like this. It has an overbought level way up here and an oversold level down here, and it's in blue ink. But let's left click on it, modify it, and let's clean it up a little bit. First of all, we'll be consistent by having both of these levels green. I'd like to make this now, instead of 70, I'd like to make this 55, and I'm going to make this 45. And this puts a band of things in the middle. You'll see it in a second. I'm also going to change this color to orange so it'll be easier for everybody to see. At least I hope I am. What happened to my orange? Come on, baby. There we go. Now we're going to click Apply, left click. And now we have something that's more helpful in my opinion. You can see here in this particular area, we came down into our bands, but then we couldn't hold it. Here we came up, we had a little bit, we held on top of it, and then we had a nice move higher. Likewise, here we came up and notice that even although we did exceed our 30-80 EMA moving average here, we really held below our 55 line, and so that was the reason for another kind of short downtrend. Here we had a crossover to the upside. We had a good earnings report apparently, a pullback right afterwards, come back down, test, and then off we go again. So that's one indicator that you can add for confirmation. And then even though it's much maligned, if you use it properly, I would propose to you that the stochastic can also be of some help to you. I'm going to use a slow stochastic right here. This is what I've used in my other Forex opportunities. And here is our situation. I did not bother to change the time frame here, and then the other companion line is drawn with this one here. Notice that when we have this pullback, we get down into the oversold area. Now let's do some work on this too. Let's clean this up a bit. I like to have a 75 and a 25. I think that's more workable, and I'm also going to change this. Now this one I'm actually going to make both blue. Let's do it like that. Come down here and find our blue. Where'd it go? There it is right here. It was just disappeared from me. There it is. Now what we're going to do is apply that. And you can see now this is just a little more modest. We have this situation here where we pull down, we're below, and it is not until we get this crossover where the red is above the white here in this particular situation that we would think we'd have an uptick. Now notice at that time we don't have alignment with our other indicator, this multiple moving average, and we're also still below the 45-55 here. So even though we've come up, we have to be cautious because this is a single image view of the market, and it isn't until we get the consolidation and or the alignment of the three different types of indications that we would be very confident about a bullish call. So for example, here's our separation of the multiple moving averages and a crossover of the 12 and 20 with the 38. We notice that we pull back in this area, we pull back in this area, we pull back in this area, but then very quickly off we go again. Here's another great potential entry right here, a pullback, downtrend, oversold, and then back we hold the 45-55. Now in case that wasn't clear enough, let's go back. Let's take a look at a 195 chart just to show you how that's half a trading day. And I'm going to go back and use 6 months of that. And you can see here the same situation. Basically 195, there was our pullback. Here was our pullback, a crossover of the two lines. So bullish, bullish, and bullish, and off we go to the races. And in Facebook's case, if you go also, by the way, up to this line, you can see the high, low, open, and close. So from here, our high on that entry would have been 199, and at the present time we're back up around the 217. So if you're working on a monthly option strategy or even weeklies, I think you can sense that you would have as good a trade setup as you're probably going to find that is in keeping with the trend. So you're trying to trade with the trend, you're not fighting any of the indicators, and in fact, you have three of them working for you at the same time. Okay, now how do we save this? Let's wrap up our video here today by saying settings. We had the 12, 25, 24 cross. Let's save this as fast running. We don't want to do that yet. What we want to do is save the chart, and we'd like to simply change the name to fast running. Okay, and we want to make this save the chart settings, save the indicators. We don't necessarily want to make this default, although we could. Save time frame and frequency as well. Save. View already exists, but that's okay. We like our new version. Yes. Okay, now if we go back and we take a look at the 1224 cross, you can see that we simply have our original moving averages on the wall. Okay, guys, that's enough for now. I've droned on, and I hope that's helpful. Please comment if you have questions about these charts and videos. Please like them and subscribe if you wouldn't mind. We could really use the help and would appreciate it. And if you have interest in the Forex market at all, even if you'd like to open a small account to experiment, please see the link in the description below this, and you can get some free indicators for Metatrader and get a sense of how it all works. You can trade that for as little as 10 cents a pip on a $500 account to see how it works. And I'm not shilling for a broker. I'm just trying to let you know that there's some good opportunities there. Thanks for watching in the meantime, and good luck with your managed IRAs and your equity accounts. See you next time.